Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and I know I generally don't make reactionary videos like this, but it relates to a topic that I feel very strongly about, and it's one that Illegal Civ is actively promoting. Now, Illegal Civ is promoting just egotistical bullying, as well as encouraging violence and threatening other people that pose zero threat to them, all in the name of just to act cool and be all tough and all that, while they're actually not all about that. Now we're going to go over some video segments on the last two previous videos that they have posted during the recording of this video. Now this one I'm sure a lot of you have already seen, and unfortunately this one isn't going to be about the skateboarding in either videos, and that's a shame, which I'll get to. But this segment of this video is a really good example of Illegal Civ just trying to bully someone who poses zero threat to them and is not their size.
For sure. It just looks like you're just gonna land on the second.
Block the walkway.
We're not blocking it. We're just checking it out for our sport. You want to get past here? Where do you need to go? You need to go. You go this way. Excuse us, everybody.
Don't get smart. I'm talking to him standing here.
I was just trying to help make some space.
Disrespect your elders.
Damn, she almost looked at the time. Hey, she almost look at her. She almost pissed off. She about to fuck
Touch
me
your
up.
pressure point, knock out.
Now, as you can see from the clip, really it was just a senior citizen requesting them to not block the walkway, and that's it. And I agree. When you're skateboarding, you're skating on the streets, you're not entitled to have the entire area to yourself. It's a public area, it's not a skate park, and if someone asks you to like, hey, don't block the way, stuff like that, you should oblige. But instead, these guys just want to get smart and just be all sarcastic and stuff like that. And then you have this guy in the blue hoodie deciding to just square up on her, being all like tough and intimidating and all that. And I believe that a couple of the other people in the back, as the clip progresses, do the same exact thing.
Everybody, don't get smart. I'm talking to him.
Yeah, so you got this guy all squared up. And he backs up a little bit.
Standing here.
And you just got this guy all staring, being all tough and all that. And seriously, this person poses a zero threat to all of you. She's just telling you to not be smart, don't block the walkway. That should be the end of it. And the best way to approach this situation is, okay, we won't. Or it's like, oh, sorry, my bad. That's it. Not trying to escalate, be all tough, acting like you're like a gangster or whatever. This was a stupid situation, and it's nothing more than egotistical bullying. And if you have a problem with someone telling you to just not stand in the way of other people in a public place, you shouldn't be street skateboarding. You should just go to a skate park and just stay there. Now for this segment where they're all talking shit about behind her back when she's finally gone or whatever, this is just a stupid weak move. And now I'm just going to bring it up. Maybe these comments are racially motivated because she's Asian and they're talking about like chakras and like pressure points and all that. Not something I'm really interested in getting into because there's not enough to base it off that. But them just like talking all this shit when she's actually gone is just such a weak thing. If you have something to say, you better say it to that person's face, directly staring into their eyes while you're very close to them. If you think you're all tough and all that, and you have nothing good to say and you aren't actually brave enough to say to that person, don't say it at all. This is just a stupid, weak move. And before you ask, yes, if I were to meet these people in real life, I would have no problem saying all of what I'm saying today in this video to their faces. And you can quote me on that. If you go back to a little bit before where that initial clip starts, you can see that Mikey Alfred, the person behind Illegal Civ, is actually there. And if he sees his like team riders, and I say that loosely because I think this is a very uninspiring team and doesn't even deserve that name. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyways, he should be the face of Illegal Civ and running things. He should be telling his team riders to like not do that, to discourage stuff like that, messing around with other people and just trying to be overall bullies. Instead, he didn't. He wants to glamorize to show that like, oh, Illegal Civ is all like cool and tough and all that. But in reality, Illegal Civ is nothing like that. It's just all a facade, for lack of a better term, in order to have like more fame or more money and some stupid shit like that. Now we're going to move on to the previous video that they posted, and a lot of it is supposed to be about skateboarding, but unfortunately it's not. I don't remember a single trick in here because it's all overshadowed by the violent and destructive attitude that is presented in this video trailer. Now we begin with what appears to be the security guard just hitting the kid when he's walking away. Now breaking this segment down, the security guard, from what it looks like, slaps the hat off the illegal civ kid who is walking down. As you can see here, when he swings his hand, it's in an upward motion. And then what follows from behind the censoring is the hat. It's because the kid is wearing the back of his because the kid is wearing his hat backwards. And then when you continue, you can see the kid grab the hat, which has fallen off his head. As you continue, you can see he puts the hat back on his head. And you can break down this clip yourself. Just go to the video and then just go frame by frame just to see what's really going on. I know you might not get the clearer picture on a YouTube video, but this is how I see it from my view. Then kid turns around and starts approaching security guard. By the way, whoever edited this video, great job, you're really concealing the identities of the people that you assaulted and your team riders who assault people. And then, this illegal civ kid decides to swing his board at the guy, knocking all that stuff on his hands, and instead of accepting the consequences, starts running away. This was completely inexcusable. These kids were not in fear of their lives. All they wanted to do was play tough and start swinging boards at people, thinking it's the cool thing to do. And I don't even consider the security guard slapping the kid's hat off his head like an excuse to start swinging boards at people. And neither do I find that just because the board didn't actually give him any physical damage or any notable damage or anything like that to be excusable. Skateboard is a deadly weapon, especially in this context, and no matter how you look at it, they were just in the wrong. It was just completely unexcusable. Now, if they wanted to tell the security guard off about hitting his hat or whatever, by all means do that. All those words, it's not going to hurt him physically. But once you start trying to fight back and you're on property that you're not supposed to be on, you're getting kicked out, you start swinging, you're not going to be in for a good time. So for the next clip, personally, I'm in the camp where I don't believe it's okay to be skating on people's residences. So their houses or apartments or stuff like that. I would say you keep it in public areas where it's a courthouse or, stuff like that. Basically in an area or places where people don't live. And this is what I assume is happening in this clip, where the guy that they're all trying to square up against is trying to tell these guys to stay off his property. That's what I assume is happening based on what I'm watching.
I'm Franklin's in my pocket, boy. These bitches about as old as me. Got my bitches loyal, went to jail. She hard on me. Yeah, this shit is risky. Strap.
Oh shit,
Yeah, this shit is risky. It ain't safe at all. Bro, you mashed up. I'm stick like you play lacrosse. It ain't shit to get them hit. Just let me make a call. We'll get them.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
I ain't the same person.
Now, first off, I completely respect this guy for standing up to all the illegal civ dudes, but we'll get into that in a bit. Let's just go back to the start first. Now, from the clips you see, this is not like an office building or like a courthouse or anything like that. This is a residential area. This is someone's driveway, there's stairs and all that. This is where someone lives. And again, I'm in the camp where I fully believe that it's not okay. People live there. It's one thing if it's just an empty building, in a public area where no one lives there. But when someone lives there and they're trying to tell you to stay off where they live, yeah, you get out of there. And it's going to be a risky thing because they actually have personal stake in it. It's where they live. For security guards, it's their job. For other people, this is where they live, this is their home, and they will do anything it takes to defend it. Now as for this car breaking stuff, I don't know what's going on here. You have someone doing saying hey, they called us a racial slur. Then you got the car trying to back up a little bit, but then braking. And then you got this guy just breaking the windshield and then running away. I have no idea what's going on here. But look, guy on a skateboard versus a guy in a car. Who do you think is really going to win? Best thing to do, play it safe, get out of the car's way. If anything happens, just, record it. Call the cops or something, People might have their opinions on that, but that's what I would personally do. Have it on record, and in case it happens again, then it's on record. What is on record is that this guy is just destroying not public property, someone's property, and there's someone in that car. And here's the thing, what if this driver has a gun or something? And then one could argue that they're well within the rights to get out of the car and start shooting this dude. and we'll get more into that a bit later. Now, the guy who's standing up to all these illegal Civ dudes is actually all about that life. You got 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys, you got the cameraman, and then, you know, maybe there's 1 or 2 other guys not on the film. But really, regardless of how you look at it, this guy is completely outnumbered. All these guys are in similar height and build, but he does not care whatsoever. He is 100% ready to just stand up to all these dudes and really to just do whatever it takes, you know? And this is someone I would be scared of messing with. Not a legal Civ. I don't care about these guys, you know? I'd stand up to them. This guy, whew, I would call him sir and all that. He does not care whatsoever that he's outnumbered. And this guy, I think he realizes that, because at the end, his voice breaks, going from like, oh, I'm so tough, to like, oh, and he starts chuckling and all that, thinking it's all a joke.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, you hear that voice break and all that chuckling? I think he starts to realize that, like, oh, it's actually about to get serious. And this guy, again, completely all about that, and I completely respect that. But you also have to be careful about people like this, and we'll get into that towards the end of this video.
Don't fail me, dog. You especially when you fucking give me a fucking switch, dog. Don't fail me, dog.
Or what?
Or what? Or what?
Don't get knocked out.
What, dog?
I assume that's Mikey Alfred behind the camera, and we all know he's not knocking anyone out. He's not all about that life. He has zero intention on punching people. He has zero intention on living the lifestyle that he promotes. Again, it's all bark and no bite. Now, the point being of this is that, again, Illegal Civ and Mikey Alfred is promoting a really dangerous lifestyle in which they want to bully people not their size. They want to get violent where violence isn't needed, and they just overall want to cause mayhem and just be like, oh, I'm super tough, I can fight people, I'm all about it. And in reality, they're not. And a lot of people in the comments of this video and the previous video agree with this. I'm not going to cover every single one, or at all really, because it's just going to echo what I just said, or I'm echoing what they're saying. But they generally agree that this is not the right direction to go, and not the path that they agree with. So this altercation stands out to me because it's actually because Illegal Civ actually encountered someone who's actually willing to match their energy and who's actually all about like standing up for themselves, and they don't care that they're outnumbered. They don't care about like skateboarders or like how tough they think they are. This guy is like actually tough. He doesn't care that he's outnumbered. He's ready for a fight, and you know damn well he's gonna do whatever it takes. Then I assume this guy backs off and nothing actually bad happens. What I'm afraid of, really, is that the children of Illegal Civ, and yes, I am using that term deliberately, and any other fans of Illegal Civ, presumably if they have any, are going to decide to mess with people, and eventually they're going to run into someone like this, who's actually willing to stand up for themselves, match that energy, and then actually going to match the violence that Illegal Civ wants to promote, and then they're going to pay the consequences for that. The Illegal Civ people, I mean. And when you're being like a giant bully like this, trying to be all like, I'm so tough, I'm going to fight you and all that, is completely not the same as in being in the actual fight. I'm saying like you're theorizing about it versus actually doing it. And I'm speaking from this at a personal experience. I have been in these sorts of altercations before, and I've had to act in self-defense. And all of these altercations, I genuinely wish I didn't have to do it, but I was forced to. And it completely is different than actually talking about it and theorizing about it. I'm not going to get into too much detail about it, but I will say that I have actual experience with this firsthand. So not only is Mikey Alfred putting people like outsiders and like bystanders in danger, but he's also putting like people that he's supposed to care about in danger. His team writers and his fans and all that. Anyone that believes in this stupid sort of lifestyle and wants to like live it up. You know, be all violent for the camera, or be violent because, oh, I'm a fan of Illegal Civ or whatever. One of these days, I fully believe that if this continues, someone is going to get hurt or die because of this glamorization of this sort of lifestyle that Mikey Alfred promotes. And Mikey Alfred isn't actually all about this lifestyle. He does not match the energy of his team. All he cares about is a brand image, and he's desperately grasping for straws, which is why he is resorting to like actual violence and actual destruction and actual mayhem of other people and their property. People that I would say have done nothing wrong and pose zero threat to the illegal Civ team. And there's a reason why like basically every other skateboard brand doesn't do this. They don't promote this sort of thing. The only people getting hurt generally are the actual skateboarders themselves, and that's the risk. And this sort of violence overshadows the actual skateboarding of the video. There's a reason why I haven't talked about the skateboarding at all. I can't remember a single trick that was done in this video. And that's because all this stupid violence and all the tough guy act is overshadowing the actual skateboarding. And skateboarding should be about skateboarding. That's it. It shouldn't be about like fighting other people and being a bully or whatnot. There are other videos for that. But to have such like a trailer and stuff like this for it, it's just childish, it's stupid, and just absolutely inexcusable. Anyways, Mikey Alfred is a clown. His brand sucks. The lifestyle that he wants to promote is just insanely stupid. And the only reason why he's doing this is for money and recognition. He is not actually all about that life. He would never go knock someone out. He would never go fight a security guard. He would never square up on anyone. And I say this for a fact. And if Mikey, if you want to prove me wrong, well, that's just even going to be even more stupid. Anyways, this has been a very ranty video, but it is a subject that I have very strong viewpoints on, and it's why I wanted to make it. Don't get into fights. Don't look for any excuse to get violent. Don't mess with other people. Don't be a bully. If for whatever reason that you choose to use violence, start punching people and getting into fights, better be for a damn good reason, and your life better be in 100% danger. Anyways, that has been another video. I'm sure there's a lot to discuss in the comments, and again, these are my viewpoints. You may disagree or agree with me, but you know, you could do what you gotta do, and I gotta do what I gotta do. Illegal Civ is not good for skateboarding, and should not be promoted in such a way. Right, and I will see you guys in the next one.